On the evening of February 28, 1971, Israel's aging Prime Minister Golda Meir summoned a group of advisors and senior officials to her office for an urgent meeting. Those who filed in included the Mayor of Jerusalem, the National Police Chief, the Minister of Police, and the Minister of Justice. Together, they would have to resolve a dilemma: what to do about a new group of troublemakers who were calling themselves the Black Panthers. The problem started 2 months earlier with a handful of youths from one of the country's impoverished neighborhoods. They had no resources or benefactors, and though they claimed to represent Israel's poor, dark-skinned Jewish masses, there was no way to know whether the masses would rally to their cry. Now, the so-called Panthers were planning to stage their first demonstration, a test of their appeal. Seeing this possibility as a threat, the police commanders were proposing a response, but even they could tell their plan was heavy-handed. They knew they needed to seek the approval of Israel's civilian leadership. From the precinct level, the matter went up through the chain of command all the way to the Minister of Police. He couldn't come to a decision either, so he phoned the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the press had contributed to the escalation by inflating the seriousness of these activists. Given the explosive reputation of the group's American namesake, it was an easy story to sensationalize. What started as a police matter was quickly transforming into a threat to Israel's domestic stability, if only because political leaders perceived it as such. Meir and her deputies began debating. The first question they faced was whether to allow the protest to take place at all. Under Israeli law, public demonstrations require permits, and the Panthers had dutifully applied for one. From a legal standpoint, the officials could move to reject an application by presenting the case that such a protest would likely result in violence or disorderly conduct. As they began debating, an aide stepped into the room to interrupt. He came to deliver an update on the very issue they were discussing. Hundreds of incendiary flyers signed by the Panthers had just come off the press, and police had arrested 2 activists for illegally wheat pasting the flyers on the exterior walls of Jerusalem's City Hall.